Welcome back, everyone. Mike Barrick with John Forstland, ready for second period action. The Indians and the Express scoreless. Shots on goal in the first period, 10-6 in favor of Springfield in that first period. And for the first 28 seconds, the Indians have the two-man advantage with Jean-Marc Gonin in the penalty box along with Dale Dunbar at the tail end of the period when they got those penalties. So the Indians have the two-man advantage. On the left side is Ken Leiter. Leiter trying to move through. Takes his control at the left point. Feeds to the right side for Levy. Back to Leiter. Back to Levy. Closing through. Centers in front for Habscheid. He scores! Mark Habscheid set up beautifully at the side of the crease from Craig Levy, and the Indians score in the power play and lead 1-0.
Well, it's never easy, but much easier than usual for Mark Habscheid. He picks up the first goal of this game, gets the Indians headed in the right direction very early, just 15 seconds into period number 2. Here you see the play made on the point once again. Both Leiter and Levy outstanding, playing both their respective point positions on the power play. Levy fakes the slap shot, and just a pinpoint pass right onto the stick of Habscheid, who knocks it home for his third goal in as many games as a member of the Springfield Indians. Mark Habscheid continues to perform, and the Indians have the 1-0 lead.
Okay, another brief time with the man advantage, but the Express player is back on Corrales, and the puck skitters to center. 1-0, the Indians have the lead. As the play in the Springfield zone, where Levy for the Indians takes control, backhands it into the center ice area, and then the Express clear to the Springfield line. Here is the puck being fought for and jammed up on the near boards. It's fed into the corner and finally knocked down there by the Express and fed to center ice. Into the neutral zone is the Fredericton player, Huff. Centers one for Curtin, in for Curry, but he's too closely checked, and the Indians on the attack on the near boards. Here's Paul Houck shooting one in after Courtco. Courtco pulls up on the near board, centers in front. Holter a shot right on, and Caprice the stop, and the Express clear one all the way down. Indians Johannesson back after it. As he touches it, icing is called. The scoring play for Springfield, it was Habscheid's third of the season from Levy and Leiter at 15 seconds on the power play.
Well, the Indians get started here with a 1-0 lead early in the second period, and you're going to see Roger Courtco right here making plays in the Fredericton zone like he always does. Courtco excellent at setting up his teammates, and that time set up Cash Coulter for a great scoring bid. Roger Courtco at center ice along this line here with Neil Coulter and Dale Henry, 3 Islander property players, and the 3 of them have been playing well for the Indians. Courtco with a great pass.
Now play into the center ice area, and Bill Stewart feeds cross ice near boards for Glenn Johannesson. Ahead for Roger Courtco, but the whole play whistled down offside at the Express blue line.
Well, as the new year turns this week, the Indians' parent teams will be in action. The New York Islanders have a game this Tuesday night, New Year's Eve in Detroit, and then we'll begin the new year on Thursday at home against the Boston Bruins. As far as the Minnesota North Stars are concerned, they'll spend New Year's Eve at home to take on the Calgary Flames, and then we'll be in action on January 2nd, Thursday night, at home once again to take on one of Fredericton's parent clubs, the Vancouver Canucks.
Now play into the center ice area and a pass into the Springfield zone. Trying to break through is Taylor Hall, but broken up at the Springfield defense, and then it's knocked back to center. Andy Schliebener ahead into the center ice area for Jean-Marc Gonin, and a 2-line offside is called from inside the Fredericton blue line to the Springfield side of center.
You don't realize, Mike, really how important the defensemen are on the power play, or whoever it may be on the point, but since Craig Levy has been added to this Indians team and Kenny Leiter has picked up his play very, very well on the point, both of them initiate so many plays, not only with the use of their shots, but their playmaking ability. That was witnessed on the last passes. Levy set up Habscheid beautifully, and then when you have Kenny Leiter blasting the puck from the point, the Indians have 2 great weapons on the power play.
In his own zone and taking over, for the Express and coming to center ice is Lupul. Lupul tips it into the Springfield zone. Back after Johannesson. Fredericton in a forecheck, Mike Stevens, but the Indians are able to clear one up the center. Here is Tom Thornberry for the Express. Winds it off the boards into the Springfield zone, and Bill Stewart takes over. Here is Stewart on the right side for Alan Kerr. Erupted up there by Lupul. It's fought for on the far boards. Basson tries to get out. Lupul holds it in. Centers one in the crease area, but here comes Martin back for Springfield. Lead pass to center, but broken up there. It fought for in the center ice area, and the puck comes free for David Bruce. He takes a hit. Indians come to center ice, and Alan Kerr eyes the pass on right wing for Bill Stewart. Stewart crosses the blue line into the Fredericton zone. Feeds for Martin, who deflects it wide. Here's Martin, centers for Kerr. That's tipped away. Express try and clear out, bouncing puck between the circles, and finally David Bruce is sent on his way into the Springfield zone. Here's Bruce, cross ice for McIntyre, shoots, and I believe it grazed off the post and deflects wide. Now McIntyre's shot, Karam's weirdly off the backboards in front of the net, but finally picked up by Tate on the near board. Paddle breaks it up, tries to scoop one free, and here come the Indians into the center ice area. Handy now into the Fredericton zone, feeds one through, but intercepted by Neil Bellin, who comes to center. Bellin, right wing pass for Ken Quinney. His shot, sharp angle drive, deflects wide. Loose in front, Indians try and clear out. Hauk is knocked down, and the loose puck ends up going to center. It's 1-0, the Indians have the lead. 16 minutes, 18 seconds left in this second period. Jim Cowdice gives for Terry Tate, who spins back in his own end of the ring. Able to tap one ahead up the right side as the Indians Ron Handy to center. Moving into the Fredericton zone. Tips one for Tate, but blocked off for the Express defense, and Fredericton up to center ice. Moving through is Ken Quinney. Wrist shot deflected by Indians netminder Mike Sands. Indians try and clear out. Lead a three-man rush to center. Here's Tate on the near boards. Dropped for Handy, and on goal, shoots! And right on, it's on the net, but the netminder Caprice able to keep those pads together and makes the stop.
Caprice played that very well. The shot taken by Handy extremely hard with some good velocity. Caprice, as you're going to see him just push off and come out to cut down the angle on the play and control the rebound with Hauk bearing down. Paul Hauk was let loose and in free. The Fredericton Express defense has got to pick up Hauk in that situation and ride him out of the play, because had Caprice not controlled that rebound, Hauk would have been untouched in front and maybe would have given the Indians a 2-goal lead.
Okay, Roger Kortko for the Indians, flanked by Springfield's Alan Kerr and Dale Henry. Point to the point for Leiter, a shot. That goes high and wide. And now actually on the right side on this line is Neil Coulter, along with Roger Kortko and Dale Henry. Here's Mark Curtin, tries to center in front. Sands, spellbinding stop on Curry. And that may have been the save of the game so far as the Springfield netminder is concerned. On the right side, Indians Coulter feeds for Henry. Right in, shoots, stick save by Caprice. Rebound taken. Poudrier can't get it out. Levy holds it in. His shot, stick save Caprice. Back of the net, Indians take over. Here's Henry on the far boards. Henry trying to dump one through for Kortko. Back for Henry. Henry taken out of the play, and the Express take over on the near side. Here they come to center ice, and back after is the player Curry now. Tony Curry feeding one through for Huff. Huff steered off by Leiter, and then Levy covers up for Springfield. Banks one on the right side now, and here come the Indians to center. Cash Coulter into the center ice area. Dumping through and jamming it back into the Express zone, and coming out of there is Neil Bellin. Ahead to center ice and moving it through is Jean-Marc Gaulin, who deflects it in. Loose to the between the circles. Bellin is shot. That is blocked by Johannesson as he is limping a little bit after taking that hard shot. Here's Servinas moving through. Servinas takes a hit. Big scramble on the near boards. It's finally fought for. Jammed up over there, and we'll have a face-off in the Fredericton zone.
You know, Mike Sands a little bit back there came up with a great save for Springfield. You're looking at Indians rookie performer George Servinas, but Sands not seeing an awful lot of shots in this hockey game. Sometimes it's not the easiest situation for a goaltender to be in because he's not used to seeing the rubber, and a lot of goaltenders, especially like Sands, likes to see more and more shots, keeps them more involved in the game, and sometimes you can be caught off guard. Sands was not. He came up with a dandy of a save to keep the Fredericton club off the scoreboard and maintain the 1-0 Springfield lead.
Okay, it'll be Mark Capshaw to take the draw for the Indians, and he's opposed by Alain Lemieux. Now it's loose in front. Johannesson, a quick shot right on. Caprice the save. and the Indians are starting to buzz a little bit in the Fredericton zone.
Well, they're getting more and more chances. They picked it up at the tail end of the first period after a listless start and have continued to maintain that play. That time, Glenn Johannesson, moving in from his point position, was left untouched and came in on a good scoring chance on Caprice. Very similar to the way the game went last week. The Indians with more and more chances. Sometimes you get so many of them, then the floodgates open and the Indians keep knocking at the door. But before you know it, if they keep letting them get in on Caprice, the Indians will come up with more and more goals.
Here's a lead pass going all the way into the Springfield zone. Out of the net, Sands to clear one on the near side for Cervinas. Now the Express breaking free. Quickly they try and move it in, and the Indians clear but not out. Belland a shot right on. Sands a pad save. Rebound taken by Springfield. Here's Hapshide speeding into the Fredericton zone. Drops it back, but nobody there except for David Bruce. Here's Bruce into the Springfield zone. Crosses and crisscrosses with Lupel. The pass through to Lupel, whose shot is blocked off of the defense, and here comes Hapshide back. Leads Zervinas on left wing. Zervinas tied up by Bruce. Puck goes into the far corner. Lacey in after it. Fights off with the Fredericton player. It's centered at the side of the crease, and finally the Express take over and clear, but not out. Then the Express do clear the zone, and here they come on the offensive attack. Here's Lupel. Takes a hit from Caudice, who sends him to the ice. Cervinas on the near boards also takes a hit. There's the center. Now across the line is Fredericton's Stevens, a shot off the backboards. Deflects wide. Into the corner, Hapshide winds it on right wing. Kerr can't get it out, then Stewart for Springfield. Leads for Kerr, but blocked off beautifully at the Express defense. 12 minutes, 35 seconds left second period. The Indians scored an early second period goal and lead 1-0 as Indians Bob Bassett trying to dump one through, but broken up by McIntyre, who breaks in one-on-one into the Springfield zone, but poke check by Caudice. Then Quinney on the near boards, pulls up, centers it through for Scott Tonnell on the far side. Here's Tonnell fighting for the loose puck and jostling with Alan Kerr. It's kicked at, and finally the puck is retrieved and corralled in by Stewart, who leaves it for Caudice, who shoots one on the right wing side. A lot of loose play again between the blue lines as the Express McIntyre breaks through. Dumps it back behind the net as Sands is able to clear one, but broken up there. Express try and dump one through, and the shot by Tonnell goes high and wide. Now McIntyre for Quinney. Centered for McIntyre. Stepped into by Caudice, and then Stewart clears one over the glass into the crowd, and it'll force a face-off in the Springfield zone, with the Express getting a couple of offensive chances.
Well, I think Coach Andre Savard and the rest of his Fredericton club have thought that the play was getting away from them a little bit as the Indians were picking up the pace in the Fredericton zone, have now carried some chances, and Andre Savard is incensed with referee Mark Fawcett. He has felt that most of the calls have gone the way of the Indians, which they have in this game, and feels that the referee Fawcett should start evening out the calls just a little bit here. We're going to have to see if that takes place. Savard, very seldom do you see him get this vocal behind the bench for Fredericton, but very upset with the lack of calls on the part of referee Fawcett.
On that one, I think he thought Stewart should have gotten a delay of the game penalty for intentionally shooting that puck into the crowd. Now it's fought for into the far side. Express try and center for Curry, but Indians take over, and Coulter winds one up the left side for Dale Henry. Back checking Neil Belland, but stolen by Courtco, who cruises in. Here's Courtco, tries to center for Henry. Henry too closely checked. Fought for is Curry for Fredericton. Winds it back in his own zone. 1-0, the Indians have the lead. We're midway through in this second period. 11 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the second stanza. As Coulter breaks down the right side. Moving through, shoots, and he shot it wide. The puck had so much velocity of Karam's off the backboards all the way to center. Now Courtco gets for Henry. He closes in a shot right on. Caprice stops that and sends it for Tony Curry. And Springfield's Henry runs it to Curry back behind the net. Mad scramble on the near board. 3 players fighting for it. A fourth comes in, Tony Curry, and they wrestle and push one another over there, but will force a face-off in the Fredericton zone as we get some sticks up as well in the Fredericton end of the rink.
Well, Fredericton here trying to establish some rough play. Neil Coulter, who's already been involved in one altercation with Taylor Hall in this game, got the sticks up along the near side with Mark Curtin. You're going to see the action right here. There's a sandwich for you as you see both Neil Coulter and Dale Henry, both bookends on this line, with Roger Courtco collide with a Fredericton player behind the net. And with Corco, the pesky little center iceman, he has two big wingers to skate with on this line, Coulter and Henry, and that time they were really throwing their weight around in the Fredericton zone.
Okay, face-off will be in the circle to the right of the Fredericton goal, as you see that replay with Tony Curry and involved in that little mishap. It'll be Ron Handy centering a line of Terry Tate and Paul Houck at this point, as Springfield trying to close through. Here's Chris Pryor, twists and turns, trying to give one for Ron Handy. Handy back behind the net, skated off the puck, and in comes Terry Tate. Here's Tate, gives for Handy. Handy dropped up and check on the play as the Indians try and get one in front. They do feed one through, but blocked off there. And on the left side, David Bruce picking the puck up. Here's Bruce shooting one right on and stands to his knees and stops that. On the far side, Houck checked off with a Fredericton player. Indians try and get it out. Fredericton hold it in. Here is the shot by Bruce right on. Johannesson blocks that. Indians can't get it out. Express hold it in. On the left side, Poudrier, a shot deflected by Bruce. That goes wide. And the loose puck taken by Tate, who winds it to center. Under 10 minutes remaining. Second period. The Indians on a Mark Capshide power play goal. Lead 1-0 as David Bruce tries to maintain control of that puck. Into the Springfield zone. Met by Johannesson, who stays with him, gives him a stick or two, and then finally Bruce picks the loose puck up back behind the net, tries to center. Lupul in front. Also knocked down in front of the goal is Fredericton's player on the near side, Taylor Hall, and Andre Savard doesn't like that one as well, as Hall was knocked down in front. Here is Leiter trying to bat one through. Bellin takes over and leaves it for his own defense. Here come the Express into the center ice area. Taylor Hall on the far boards, drops it through, dumped down to the Springfield defense, and now intercepted there. Express try and dump one in front, but Stewart slides to break it up as it was centered for Alain Lemieux. Now Lemieux at the side of the net, holds on to that puck. He's a magician at the side of the goal. Centers one, and unable to take control is Golin. Indians take control, and finally Lacey up ahead for a half shot. One man back into the Fredericton zone, but that only man back, Bellin, able to tip to center. Play opening up a little bit now, a little bit more as the Express take over, but still a lot of play from blue line to blue line. As Bellin in his own zone clears one all the way to center. We've had very few face-offs in this second stanza as the Indians take control. Here's Gary Lacey moving into the Fredericton end of the rink. Feeds one through, but Hall breaks it up and leads to center. Here the Indians just dumping one right back, and taking over for Springfield is Gary Lacey. For Martin off of his skate, and the Express take over and clear one into the center ice area. Now a lead pass to center. In after it for Springfield, and moving into Hapshot. Drops it back to the point for Pryor. A shot! That deflects through, but ends up going wide, and the Express just clear one all the way back down into the Springfield zone. And the Indians back after it. John, I'm going to run out of my voice here with no more face-offs as it's jammed up into the center ice area, and the Express take over.
Well, a lot of non-stop action back and forth. Fredericton trying to pick up the pace and have started to carry the play to the Indians.
Now playing away in front is Poudrier, a shot, but Stewart is able to corral that puck underneath him as the Express Poudrier had a scoring chance.
Well, it seemed like Bill Stewart has been out there for an eternity. He has made some great defensive plays, makes another one there, thwarting that Fredericton rush. And as you take a look at Bill Stewart, his defensive play has really increased with him putting, and he right now has a few words for Jean-Marc Collin as he skates to the Springfield bench. In the process, the Fredericton bench very frustrated at this point, and a few words for Stewart, and he took exception to that. There you see him blocking the drive of Poudrier, but prior to that, it was Stewart and Leiter doing yeoman-like work in the slot area. As Lemieux was trying to make a play, it was Stewart going down to block it, getting back up again, blocking another, and Leiter was there to take away the pass from Lemieux as he was trying to set up Golin in front. And of course, Savard, Andre Savard, that is, the coach of Fredericton, very upset with Mark Fawcett's lack of calls in his favor with 7:23 remaining second period, 1-0 Springfield.
Here's Poudrier, shot right on, and it ends up deflecting wide as he missed the net. It caromed off the backboards, and now the puck to center. Here's Thornberry shooting one through, and back after it in the Springfield zone is Levy. Here are the Indians in their own zone with 7:05 left second period. 1-0, the Indians have the lead as the Indians on the attack. Here's Bob Basson clearing one for Tate. Centers one in front, but blocked off there, and Curtin clears but not out. Levy holds it in. Levy dumping it through to Bob Basson, but intercepted there in the express, clear to center. Here is Tony Curry moving through. Curry circling back. Shucked on the play by Leiter. The Indians try and get it out of there, and Tate is able to steer one ahead for Craig Levy. Levy, drop pass through for Kerr. Kerr takes his time and then unable to get a good scoring shot on the play, and the Express clear one up the left side. 6 minutes, 23 seconds left second period. It's still 1-0. The Indians clinging to that lead. On the far side, the Indians dump to center ice, and the Express take over and again play in the neutral zone.
Well, now we're seeing it slow up a little bit as it had picked up. It's gone back between the blue lines, coming up on the 6-minute portion remaining in this second period.
Now again in the neutral zone, Dale Henry trying to make a play, but McIntyre, the petite center for Fredericton, trying to move through. Levy stays with him, loose to the near side, and Fredericton's Poudrier trying to make a play. Dumps one in front for McIntyre. His shot is partially blocked by count ice, and the puck rolls to center. Here is the Express moving through. Tottle breaking on the left side. Pulls up. Checked by by Levy over there on the far side. It's jammed up and fought for. Indians try and get it out. Express take over. Quick centering pass for McIntyre off of his stick, and here come the Indians back. Dale Henry motors to center and across the line. Trapped for Coulter and on goal, but his shot deflects wide. Here are the Indians again, trying to center for Coulter in front of the net. Henry can't make a play. Now on the far boards, Courtco can't center it, and the Express on a three-man rush to center. Into the Springfield zone is Totto, but way in ahead of the play. McIntyre offside with under 5 minutes left second period. 1-0, the Indians have the lead.
Well, this line of Courtco, Henry, and Coulter has continued to perform here tonight. A great chance. Neil Coulter had an excellent chance right here. We're going to see it from ice level. Actually, Coulter was trying to set up Courtco as the shot went astray. Here you see him, looked like he was going for the shot, but it was Courtco headed for the net, wide open, and Coulter's pass was just deflected on the way through, and the puck went astray. But a good scoring bid as you take a look at a couple of members from last year's crew here of Continental Cablevision taking in tonight's action at home for Christmas break and enjoying all the action here at the center.
Play fought for on the near side, and Servinas for the Indians trying to clear for Johannesson, batted in front by Fredericton. Here is Stevens on the far side trying to make a play, gets for Lupul in front for Stevens, but Servinas all over, and then Stevens a shot right on. Sands gets a piece of that, and the Indians are able to get one out the center. Here's Bellin ahead for Bruce. Bruce for Lupul across the line. Gary Lupul tries to center one through, but Johannesson breaks that up and leads it to center. Now Thornberry breaks through into the Springfield zone, dumping it into the Springfield end of the rink, and on the right side, Gary Lacey, lead pass to Servinas, in the clear on left wing, in on goal, backhander right on the stop by Caprice as Servinas was in the clear. Now Express clear to center, and the Indians have to go back. Mad scramble at center ice as Springfield's Hapshide trying to break through. Tipped off by Lupul, who leads it for his own defense. Servinas' scoring chance, the best one of the period for Springfield after scoring that goal. Now it's jammed up. Express try and center for Stevens, but rolls through the goal crease, then Sands wisely holds on with some Fredericton players in the offensive zone.
This Friday night at the Springfield Civic Center, the world-famous San Diego Chicken from San Diego, California will be thrilling thousands here at the Springfield Civic Center. Time is running out. The tickets are going fast. This great promotion is brought to you by the good people at Roy Rogers Family Restaurants. Last year, a sellout crowd. This year looks to be the same, with very few tickets available for Friday night's action against the Hershey Bears, starting at 7:30. Then the Binghamton Whalers come in on Saturday night for another 7:30 start. As you take a look at the partial breakaway here by George Servinas, it was being thwarted from behind just ever so slightly there, and couldn't get really the scoring chance he would have wanted, but he did get an excellent chance on Caprice.
On the far side, Kerr can't get it out. Express dump it through into the far corner, and Fredericton's Taylor Hall takes over, trying to make a play. On the near side now. Quick shot by Golan deflects wide. Mad scramble on the near side as Elaine Lemieux being taken out of the play by Leiter, held in at the point. Express, Dale Dunbar dumps it through for Golin. Centers one through the goal crease, but Kerr for the Indians able to clear one out the center, and the Express have to go back. Fredericton pressing a little bit at this point as the Indians not having that many scoring chances, as Golin for Fredericton leads it for center ice, and Elaine Lemieux pulled down by Basson, and we're going to have that penalty against Springfield. It's jammed up to center ice, and probably Andre Savard is saying, hey, it's about time, Mr. Fawcett, and the Indians are going to be penalized.
Well, it's taken a while for it to happen, but Bob Basson gets the call for holding with 2:44 remaining here in the second period, and it gives Fredericton the chance to go on the power play, which they have longed for throughout this game. You're going to see the play through the neutral zone right there. Lemieux trying to make a play, and the arm of Basson got in the way of the streaking Lemieux. And there's the rookie who played last season with former Indian coach Doug Sauter in the Western Hockey League for the Medicine Hat Tigers. He's in the box now for holding, and it puts Fredericton on the power play for the majority of the remaining portions of this period.
He was a first-team All-Star in the Western Hockey League a year ago. And, of course, Medicine Hat, one of the stronger teams in that Western Hockey League. Play back to the center ice area with 1:57 seconds remaining in the Basson penalty. Fredericton on the power play. This only their second offensive man advantage of the evening as the Express take over in their own zone. Slowly moving the center ice and shooting one into the Springfield zone is Tom Thornberry. Jammed up and fought for, finally cleared right into the Fredericton players bench, and it almost hits Andre Savard to the delight of the crowd here in Springfield.
Well, the crowd thinks it's funny, but of course if it had struck Savard, we would not like to see that. And it's been a long night for the Fredericton coach here. Not much offense for the second consecutive night in Springfield. A week ago, they only scored one goal, dropped the game 6-1. This game a lot closer, just 1-0 Springfield, but still Fredericton looking for some offense. They haven't had any. They get a chance here with a power play. 1:37 remaining on the call to Basson.
Elaine Lemieux to take the draw against Terry Tate in the Springfield zone. With 2:21 left second period, 1-0 the Indians have the lead, but a big power play opportunity for the Express. They throw Lemieux out. Now Mike Huff will take the draw, and also for Springfield will be Paul Hauk to face off. Indians get the draw, and Tate winds one way up in the air into the crowd on the far side. And with Springfield forcing the puck outside and over the glass, the face-off again will be in the Springfield zone.
That's right. They initiate the stoppage of play with that, so the face-off still stays in that Springfield end, where Fredericton would, of course, like it with players like Lemieux, Huff, and Curry up front, and Thornberry and Bellin. This is the unit they've used throughout. And you have to think that this unit, these five players right here, can get some chances, and they're all gifted as far as offensively with the puck, but have yet to show it here tonight.
Here's Neil Bellin now for Fredericton. Taking control, drops it to Thornberry, back to Bellin, a shot, blocked by his own teammate Huff. Now Bellin, a shot through traffic, right on, Sands to his knees and makes the stop, as somehow he saw it through a maze of traffic in front of the goal.
Neil Bellin, a second-team All-Star in the American Hockey League last year, let loose with two drives right here. The first one blocked, and the second one found its way through a screen. Bellin scored the only goal for Fredericton last week. He takes the shot from the point, and Mike Sands, the good concentration with the V-drop, going down to his knees and then covering that rebound. Look at Chris Pryor on defense, taking care of the players looking to get the rebound and fending them off so Sands could cover that puck.
Here's play to the point where Bellin taps one for Curry. Off of his stick, Johannesson fights off with Curry. It's jammed up, and finally Johannesson able to clear the zone all the way down, and the Express have to go back. Under a minute remaining in the Basson penalty. 1:43 left second period. 1-0 in favor of the Springfield Indians, as it's jammed back for Bellin in his own end of the rink. Waits to make a play and then just organizes the Fredericton power play as he's kind of the quarterback back there. Gives it on the near side. Thornberry ahead across the line for Elaine Lemieux. Drops for Curry, back to Lemieux, but off of his stick. Now Huff on the near side, drops to the point. Thornberry shoots it high and wide, and it deflects over the glass into the crowd, and we'll have another face-off just outside the blue line now in the Springfield zone.
Tom Thornberry, formerly of the Pittsburgh Penguin organization, let loose with a blast right there, and he can really shoot that puck, but it just happened to go high and wide. Not really knowing where that puck was going. You see the crowd here tonight, Mike. You know all those seats will be filled the next time we have a broadcast here on Continental Cablevision. We'll be carrying the Friday night game this Friday as the San Diego Chicken comes to Springfield. We'll have it a week from tonight right here on Channel 12A on your Continental Cablevision screen.
Now play taken by Ken Leiter, who slaps it all the way down, and the Express have to go back. 22 seconds left in Basson's penalty. A minute even now left in the second period. The Indians leading 1-0 as the Express have the power play and work through. Here is Boudreau, spun around by Stewart. Tries to shovel one back to the point, but Tate can't get it out. Held in by Dunbar at the right point. Feeding it through for McIntyre. McIntyre, as Basson is back on, teams at even strength. Shovels for Quinney, backhander. Blocked off by Basson. Stewart winds it on right wing. Houck is able to tip one all the way to center, and the Express have to go back with just under 30 seconds remaining in this second stanza. On the near side, Springfield Houck trying to cut through. Tries to center one, but Poudre winds it on the far side, and the Express, Quinney able to clear into the center ice area. Here is Pryor on a bouncing puck. Feeds it through on the far side, and then up the center ice is Craig Levy. Lead pass for Houck. Dropped for Bassett. Bassett back for Houck, but intercepted at the Express defense with 3 seconds remaining. In across the line is Quinney, but the buzzer sound signaling the end of the period. He looked up, and I'm surprised he didn't shoot because he saw how much time was remaining and then kept skating, surprisingly enough.
Well, he certainly had a chance to let loose from a shot from about 40 feet, but elected to keep skating, and by that time had expired, and luckily enough, because he could have been in for a good scoring chance on Indians goaltender Mike Sands, who has been flawless through 2 periods of play, not as of yet to give up a Fredericton goal in this hockey game. The Indians have picked up one of their own. Mark Habscheid scoring early on in this period on the power play. Greg Levy set him up with a beautiful pass. The play picked up a little bit. Fredericton, of course, not happy with the officiating, but they have to get their minds on getting some more scoring chances and finishing off their plays in the Springfield zone, because the Indians defense has been doing the job in front of Sands through 2 en route to a 1-0 lead.
Okay, that's the story here, and the Indians will try and gain win number 17 if they can hold off the Express in period 3. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
With its complications, diabetes is the #3 cause of death by disease in America. Perhaps that's why over 1 million people have already contacted the American Diabetes Association. ADA provides the latest information on research breakthroughs, local support groups, nutritional information, even special programs for kids. So get in touch with the American Diabetes Association and stop fighting diabetes alone.
To Mark Habscheid, the Indians have picked up a 1-0 lead after 2, and although the play was slow at the start, it has picked up after 2 periods. The Indians on top 1-0. My guest during our second intermission is an injured Tribe defender by the name of Vern Smith. And Vern, we had you on last season when you were injured. You went virtually the entire year injury-free, and then at the tail end of the year got hurt. You don't have to keep getting hurt in order to come on. We can have you on during a practice session. I'd like to see you in uniform, and I'm sure that's where you'd like to be.
I'd love to be out there, you know, especially since the first part of the year just has been sort of a struggle, you know, right from day one, ever since I got here. And you know, things were starting to come around. I was really looking forward to getting on a roll. And something like this has to happen, kind of sets me back.
Before we get to this season and the way things have been going, let's talk about the injury a little bit itself. How it occurred, what the problem is, and what the outlook is as far as it goes.
Well, I'm not really sure how it occurred and when it started. It's a slip disc, but it's not really that serious. They're hoping that with some exercise and some strengthening, it can correct itself, and hopefully in a couple of weeks I should be able to start making a comeback.
So no surgery required, which has to be the ray of hope as far as you're concerned.
Well, that's what they're hoping, and that's what I'm hoping too. I'm going to go up to New York in a couple weeks and get a look at a game, get another evaluation, and hopefully with the strengthening program that I'm on, it should be okay.
Vern, as you bide your time in the stands now and think about this season a little bit, as you mentioned the slow start, any reasons in your mind now that you've had some time to think why you might have gotten off to a slow start, something that has not pleased you thus far?
Well, I think it all has to do with the injury. I mean, that sounds like a crutch, but it stemmed right from training camp when I missed a week of training camp because of it, and it got better at times, but then, you know, it would just take a little thing during the game to set it back to where it was at the beginning. So it really never got better, and I think that one game I played where I took the hit and it twisted it, that was the final, like that was just the point right there, the breaking point, and so to take something like that, I guess, to get it really looked at, and to take time off to get it looked after.
You're currently in your second year as a pro. Looking back to last season, your rookie year, how did it impress you, and was it everything you expected?
I think so. You know, there was ups and downs and high points, low points, a lot of learning experiences, but all in all, at the end of the year when I look back at everything, I was pretty pleased and really got to think a lot about it over the summer. And when I came to camp this year, I was really enthused and really looking forward to this year.
Looking at last season, rookie coach Lauren Henning, now in the National Hockey League this season, Fredericton, two sides of the coin as far as maybe their styles are concerned, but they're both getting good performances from the Springfield Indians. Let's compare the coaches a little bit, maybe the differences as far as both Fredericton and Lauren Henning are concerned.
Well, they do have a contrasting style, but I think they both get results from their players because they're honest with their players. And with Lauren Henning, he spends more time on a one-on-one basis with you, bringing you along and giving you confidence and stuff like that. Fred is more of a generalized, I guess. He talks to everyone as a group, you know, and everyone does the same job, which is just hard work for him. And I think that's about the only difference that they have. Fred is more hard work and straightforward, one basic job, and Lauren spends more time with the individual players.
As we watch tonight's action, some of the fans might not realize how important the job is of the defenseman. The defensemen, of course, as you know, Vern, don't pick up the points as the forwards do it's out of a player like Ray Bork or Paul Coffey, who get them in bunches, but defensemen usually aren't involved in point production that much. From a defenseman's point of view, the job out there on the ice, why don't you fill the fans in a little bit at what the defenseman has in mind when he's out there on the ice?
Well, when he's out there on the ice, his main objective is to keep his end clear and move the puck out of his end as quick as possible, and if necessary, take the body, which is almost imperative, take the man out of the play and get the puck up to the forwards as quick as possible, and then follow up the play up the ice.
I think the Indians' defense of late, you've gotten a chance to see it now. I know you've been in Long Island due to your injury, but you have a chance to see them tonight. Your impressions of the way they've been performing, players like Kenny Leiter and Bill Stewart and Greg Levy has been a great addition.
Yeah, they have been really good, you know, with the experience that they have, you know, being around and many years in the league. I think it helps the young guys that are just coming on. And watching tonight, I've been away for a while, but the team is starting to play well of late, and I think a lot of that goes to the defenseman. Fred is, as a coach, he's a real defensive minded, and he really loves, you know, the defenseman to get involved in the game. And he believes, and I think he's got us believing, that if the defense can play well and move the puck up, then we should be pretty successful.
As you look at the Islander defense now, from your standpoint right now, what are you going to work on as far as your own personal game is concerned, getting up, getting your chance with the New York Islanders? Had a couple of brief call-ups last year. Let's talk about how it felt to be in the National Hockey League last season, a member of the New York Islanders with the tradition, and then what is it going to take for Vern Smith to reach his goal?
Well, last year was just, when I did get the call to go up, I was really excited and I was happy. You know, it's something that I wanted to do all my life. And when I got up there, I just tried to play a safe game, you know, do basic things, try not to be too fancy because, you know, as it was, I was a little nervous. And being up there again this year, just watching, because I was up there with the injury, and watching how they play, I realized that, and talking to the management up there, they want, you know, a couple of basic things done, and that's all they expect from their defensemen. And it sounds easy, but it takes a lot of work. All they want is a defenseman to be strong and aggressive in his own end and in front of the net, where it's really important to cleat the front of the net clear and get the puck and move it up as quick as possible. There's a couple of basic things, but if you can master those, I think you can play in the NHL.
You made the transition from junior to the pro ranks. Is there any little thing you picked up in your first year as a pro that maybe was not expected as you came out of junior? It came as a surprise to you last season.
Well, you hear about all sorts of stories about making the jump from junior to, or from any league up to a higher division. I think the biggest thing that I wasn't really prepared for was the size and the strength of the players and how quick the play moves and how fast you can get out of the play if you're not alert at all times. So I think the concentration and strength are the two biggest things that I found.
How about the travel in this league? I know from the Western Hockey League the travel is extensive. The runs from Seattle to Winnipeg sometimes not that easy to do. But as far as the American Hockey League is concerned, you have to get your points at home and try to do the best on the road, because travel, as witnessed I think in this first period, maybe both clubs a little bit tired coming into this game here tonight.
Oh, I think so, especially the way the schedule is set up. Not too much action during the week, but a lot of games are scheduled on the weekend, which means you have to try and fit in the away games too, and that really takes its toll on the players, traveling all night and on the bus and things like that. The trips aren't all that long. It's just the fact that you're up all night and things like that and traveling a lot and moving around too much.
Vern, you going to be in the area now, or is it back to Long Island, or what is it going to be?
Well, I'm going to hang around here for a little while. I skated for the first time today in a couple of weeks. I didn't feel too bad, so I'm going to start practicing with the team and skating a little bit, and then I think in a couple of weeks I'll go back to Long Island for another test, and then they'll make their evaluation. Hopefully I can get back as soon as possible.
Well, I know you're itching to get out there, and we're itching to have you number 7 back on the ice where he belongs and doing the job on defense, Vern. So best of luck to you. Let's recuperate from that injury. I didn't get a chance to say Merry Christmas to you, so Merry Christmas, and I hope the new year for 1986 is very good for you.
Thanks, John.
Vern Smith, Indians defenseman, has been our guest between periods 2 and 3. We'll be back with more exciting Springfield Indians hockey coming up right after this.
Some children have an eye disease called retinitis pigmentosa. There's no known cure for RP, but there is hope thanks to RP Foundation Fighting Blindness. Researchers are looking for answers to the cause, prevention, and treatment of RP, and self-help groups and referral services are operating around the country. Hopefully, someday children won't have to fit a lifetime of seeing into a few short years. For more information, call RP Foundation Fighting Blindness at 800-638-5682.
And Ken Leiter at the 15-second mark, and Hafscheid's already had 6 points in this is his third Indians game.
Well, he's made his presence felt, no doubt about it. Very gifted around that goal. Shows why the Minnesota North Stars made the deal, dishing off Don Biggs and Gord Sherdman to the Edmonton Oilers organization in exchange for Mark Habscheid and a couple other players, Don Barber of Bowling Green and Emmanuel Vivaros, playing in the Western Hockey League, both of them ineligible at this point, but Habscheid the real key in the deal, no doubt about it. And he has shown his efforts very, very well for the Springfield Indians in his first few games, the first 3 to be exact for Springfield. No doubt about the fact that Mark Habscheid, offensively, extremely gifted.
Okay, it'll be Gary Lupul to take the draw against Springfield's Mark Habscheid, and the loose puck taken by the Express as they dump through into the Springfield zone. Back after it for the Tribe is Craig Levy. Leads it on the left wing side up to center ice, but the Express take over, and Gary Lupul leads it on the near boards. Fought for in the center ice area, and Craig Levy gives it for Gary Lacey, drops it back for his own defense as we're just underway here in period 3. Lacey speeds through, tries to center one, but poke check there at the Express defense, and Fredericton come back to center. Here is Lupul. trying to make a play. Skated off the puck, the loose puck comes free, and finally Springfield clear to the line, but knocked right back in, back behind the net. It's jammed to the near boards where Lacey's able to backhand one to the center ice area. Here's David Bruce for the Express, shooting it right back into the Springfield zone, and Sands leaves it for Craig Levy. Here is Levy shooting one on the far side, as the play's very slow-paced at this point to start off here in period number 3. As the Express, Mike Huff drops it back to the point. Poudrier shot right on, and Sands gets a piece of that. Loose back behind the net. Express try and center one, but Indians take over, and here is Henry on the near boards. Dale Henry twists and turns as he clears a pass for Neil Coulter, but tipped by Poudrier into the center ice area. We played a minute and a half into this third period. 1-0, the Indians have the lead, as the Indians just dump one through into the Express zone, and back after it, Dale Dunbar in his own end of the rink. Clears one ahead on the near boards. Express now tip one for Curtin at center. Moving into the Springfield zone. Pulls up. Tries to make a play, and then it's fought for by Kortko, who gives it free for Coulter. Then he's checked on the play, and Stewart leads it on left wing. Here in this third period, with the Indians holding on to a 1-0 lead and trying to score another, but Curtin for the Express clears to center. Again playing the neutral zone as Mike Huff steered off the puck. Indians take control. Johannesson twists and turns. Long shot goes high and wide into the crowd. Bounces off the staircase right into the hands of the gentleman back behind the net.
Well, I tell you, a lucky bounce there, and there you see Span has 2 pucks. And I'm sure that the puck did not evolve into 2 when it went over the glass, but he had picked up another one in this hockey game, and a prize souvenir for that youngster enjoying tonight's action. And the Indians have 4 games upcoming this week, 2 of them at home this Friday and Saturday nights, the 3rd and 4th of January. Friday night, the world-famous chicken from San Diego, brought to you by Roy Rogers, as the Indians take on the Hershey Bears at 7:30. And then Saturday night, the Binghamton Whalers come in, and they're on the tail of the Springfield Indians in that Southern Division. So 2 big games this week at the Springfield Civic Center.
Here's Terry Martin now, trying to move through into the Fredericton zone. Pulled down by Dunbar, who banks it off the boards into the center ice area. Fighting for it for Springfield is the Indians curve it back the other way. Alain Lemieux feeds it cross ice on the far side. Trying to tip one through, it's Taylor Hall, but the Indians are able to wheel up the center ice. Here's a pass across the line for Dale Henry. Henry tries to stuff one in front, but the Indians player breaking for the net was Terry Martin, unable to get a stick on it. Now the Express, Alain Lemieux moving through. Lemieux on his backhand tries to dump one in front, but blocked off there, and the Indians take control. Leiter on left wing for Bob Basson, dumps one to the Express line up to center ice, but then Poudrier takes over. Now we have some pushing and shoving. Alain Lemieux gets into a shouting match with Springfield's player Ken Leiter.
Well, play getting a little chippy in the Springfield end. Lemieux and Basson were the initial players colliding on the play. And then Lemieux got his stick up to Kenny Leiter behind the Springfield net. Leiter took exception to that fact. And Lemieux had the stick up, and it looks like he is going to get the penalty, and will here on this play with 16:51 remaining. As you take a look at us in the broadcast location high above rinkside here at the Springfield Civic Center, and give him the old Kevin the whammy downstairs and low ice. And there you see to our direct right, the president and owner of the Springfield Indians. Good shot of him, Peter Cooney. Alain Lemieux gets the call here for Fredericton, putting the Indians on the power play, and he did have that stick up, and Kenny Leiter did a good job controlling his temper. He did not get an additional penalty. Had he jostled with Lemieux, Fawcett could have easily whistled him down for roughing, which would have had the teams at even strength. Now the Indians trying to pick up even more on this 1-goal cushion. Lemieux gets the call for roughing.
Now play back going into the Springfield zone, and Leiter back after it. So Lemieux in the penalty box, Springfield's 4th power play chance of the night, and they've scored once with the man advantage, the only goal of the evening. Here is the drop pass through on the far side for Hapshot. To the left point for Leiter, tees up a shot, and he missed the net. Levy able to pinch in to hold in, but the Express clear but not out. Levy holds it in. Pass for Ron Handy. Express are able to clear on the left wing side, and here comes Huff into the Springfield zone. Beautiful poke check by Leiter, and then Levy covers up and leads for Leiter. Back for Craig Levy. Levy to center ice. Leading it through for Mark Hapshide. Hapshide dropping it back, but intercepted by Lupel, who gives for Poudrier. Here's Dan Poudrier moving into the Springfield zone. He's seen a lot of ice time this evening on the back line for the Express, but taken away by Handy, who leads Hapshide across the line. Pulls up, gives it free on the left wing side. Now Hapshide centers for Levy, darting in front. Backhander. Mew is back on. He's racing after the puck. Teams at even strength as the Indians failed to score with the man advantage. Now to center ice. Dale Henry moving through. Crisscrosses with Kortko, who moves in. Dropping it back to the point for Johannesson. Shoots, and he shot it high and wide. Almost hit a couple of players, Thornberry and Kortko. Now Bellin outlets to center ice. On the right wing side, breaking into the Springfield zone is Tottle, but he skated off the puck. Kortko fights off with the Fredericton player, and then covering up is Johannesson, who shoots to center. 14 minutes left in the third period. Indians leading 1-0 as a clearing pass, a two-line offside coming from inside the Express blue line to the Springfield side of center.
Well, Lane Lemieux injured on that last play as he was forechecking in the Springfield end, coming out of the penalty box, really had a head of steam going, and then sort of caught an edge on the ice, fell down in the process, and had his body going in two separate directions. Looked like he might have pulled his groin on the play as he went down on the play, and he's gone to the Fredericton dressing room, so we'll have to just keep an eye out to see if he comes back. It's going to hurt Fredericton's offensive capacity, no doubt, with Lemieux out of the action here, and he looks like he might be finished, but we'll have to just wait and see.
Now playing the far side, but tipped off, and the Express have a three-man rush to center. McIntyre with Quinney and Tottle. Here's Quinney closing through. Tries to dump one in front for McIntyre. Loose puck batted down and flagged down by Kerr. Leads to center. Here come the Indians. Masson dumping one through, but intercepted by the Express line, but held in by Pryor. A shot caught by Caprice, who leaves it on the right wing side. And up to center comes the Fredericton right winger, Scott Tottle. Trying to split through the defense, but both Pryor and Johannesson stay with him, and Pryor takes control. Is for Kerr, who leaves it back for Johannesson, who's able to clear the zone out the center. 13 minutes and 7 seconds left, third period. 1-0 the Indians have the lead as Lupel tries to steam his way through. Blocked off with the Indians defense, and a three-man rush to center. Here's Levy. Pass on the near side for Bob Basson, but they rule an offside on the play.
12:55 remaining third period, and the goal of Mark Hapshide has been the only marker in this hockey game. The Indians with a 1-0 lead. There you see the score. Tonight's Tribe trivia question. Before we give the answer, we'll let the fans know the question one more time and see, Mike, whether or not you can come up with a guess for this one. It's a tough question, really, and the one that doesn't really stand out as far as landmarks in hockey, but the penalty shot being part of hockey, and many times you go just a season with getting one chance. Well, what player, former member of the Springfield Indians and also a former Indians coach, is a co-holder of the American Hockey League record for the most penalty shots scored in one season?
Now it's jammed up, and the Indians are able to clear on the left wing side. Here is Terry Tate darting into the Fredericton zone, tees up a shot, and it deflects up high over the glass and into the crowd.
Any guesses on that trivia before we get to the...
I'm going to just throw out Bob Berry.
Bob Berry, good guess, very good guess. He wasn't don't be misled, not a player coach, but he was a player at one point, then went on to coach the Indians.
How about Glenn Sonmore?
No.
All right, so there's a couple of tries there. Jimmy Anderson.
No. Let me give the other two people who have the record. Hap Ems did it in 1939-40, and Bob McCauley did it with New Haven back in the early 50s. Those are the other two players, and this player, well, I'm not going to give too many hints.
Not Pat Egan, is it?
3.
Now clearing all the way into the Springfield zone, where Leiter back after it, and he touches it. Icing is called. It's not Pat Egan, is it?
Let's see the answer. You got it on your fourth try.
Third try. Check that, third try.
Wait a minute. You said Bob Berry.
Glenn Sonmore.
Jimmy
Anderson. All
Jimmy
right,
Anderson.
Fourth try.
Fourth try. So it's
but I got it tonight.
batting .250. Not bad. Keeps you in the major leagues. 3 penalty shots scored in one season for Pat Egan. And
you're surprised that I came up with the number of guesses, though, tonight, other than my usual picks.
Very much so. You've done some homework, so it's good to see, and you got it on your fourth try, so you still deserve some credit for that, and give another trivia answer that you have gotten your credit. So,
Kind of.
well, it's a little better than others, but you worked for it. At least you didn't give up after one try. So perseverance is the key here, and you got the answer right. That's all that matters.
Okay, 12 minutes, 3 seconds remaining. It's 1-0. The Indians still holding on to that lead as the Indians take over at the point. Ken Leiter on the pass, trying to deflect one for Hauk. Hauk into the corner, checked off the puck. Then Handy takes over on the near board. Handy shovels behind the net for Hauk. Hauk surveys the traffic in front, but hands it right to a Fredericton defender. Now Leiter holds it and shoots. Pat save by Caprice. On the far side, Tate winds for Hauk. Didn't see the pass coming, but centers in front for Tate. For Tate, but Caprice gets a piece of that, and then it's cleared all the way down into the Springfield zone, and the Indians have to go back.
Oh, great chance for Terry Tate. I'm sure he would have liked to go to the top shelf with that one as he took it onto the backhander. Caprice was down and out, and Tate looking for the top corner and just could not get it.
Now Pryor shoots one high in the air over the glass into the crowd. Will have a face-off in the neutral zone.
11:14 remaining here in the third period. A 1-0 hockey game. The Indians on the goal by Mark Habscheid lead this one. The Fredericton Express still looking for some answers to the puzzle here. We're going to take a look at the replay right here as the play unfolded in the Fredericton zone. Paul Hauk sliding a beautiful pass, almost a blind pass as he picked it out of the corner and quickly got it out in front to Terry Tate. And there you see Tate's backhander just could not get it up over the outstretched Caprice. Otherwise, the Indians would have had a 2-goal lead.
Here is Bill Stewart now, shovels on left side for Servinas. Ahead for Habscheid, bounces off of his stick, and McIntyre speeding through. Here's Dunk McIntyre trying to feed for Quinney, a shot, stands to save, rebound. It's backhanded wide. Express having their best chance of the period as the Indians clear all the way down. Racing back after Andy Schlebener as he touches it. Icing is called, almost beaten to the puck by Gary Lacey. But it is an icing, and the face-off will come all the way back into the Springfield zone.
Close call in the Springfield end with some great scoring chances for the Fredericton Express. You're going to see the play right here. David Quinney taking the shot. Sands going down, but it's that rebound that came right out in front. Sands is out of position as he lost his balance right there, but good back checking by Mark Habscheid coming back from his center ice position right there, thwarted off the player Tottle and eliminated him from the play as you see the players toppling over because he would have had a great scoring chances, but good help from the forwards coming back on that last play.
Okay, planned away as the Indians try and get it out of there. As Levy takes a hit from the Fredericton forechecking of Taylor Hall. And the Indians take over in their own zone. Lead pass to center, off the skate of Poudrier, and then Lemieux takes over as he spins in the center ice area. Pass for Poudrier, who dumps into the Springfield zone. With just over 10 minutes remaining in this third frame. Puck rolling on the side boards, on the far boards, and picked up there by Fredericton. They dump one in front, but Courtco back for Springfield. Lead pass to center, but picked off by Lemieux, who leads it for his own defense, and Dunbar up the right side as the Express moving through into the center ice area. Pass across for Lemieux, trying to move in, but poke check there by Johannesson, who stays with him. Taylor Hall for Curry, back to the point, Bellin a shot, that is blocked. Now Bellin takes over again for Schlebener. Schlebener feeds at the side of the net as the Express wheeling and dealing. Bellin a shot, Sands a kick save. Now Bellin another shot. Sliding to break that up is Levy, who clears one on the near boards, and Coulter races after it. Coulter is onside and on goal. Oh, and the stop by Caprice. And I'm surprised Caprice didn't go out to beat Coulter to the puck. He let Coulter walk right in, but he was able to make the stop. Now Schlebener dumping through. Back is Sands to set it up for Leiter on the near side for Basson. Basson checked on the play at the Fredericton forechecking by Golan. It's cleared to center. Here is Dunbar ahead on the right wing side. Feeds for Bruce, but Leiter checks Bruce on the play, and then Basson leads for Chris Pryor. Under 9 minutes left. It's still 1-0. A Mark Habscheid goal early in period 2 is stood up as the Express take over and clear. Bouncing puck, bouncing around, but the Express clear to center. And then Martin takes over as he drops it back for zone defense. Still a lot of play in the neutral zone. We've had very few offensive flurries on either end of the ice as the Express clear one into the Springfield zone. Pryor back after it, and icing is called, which is 8.5 minutes remaining. 8:34 to be exact.
Well, a couple of interesting plays, some good goaltending at the Springfield end, and then back the other way, a race for the puck. Neil Coulter getting to it. was surprised that he was onside, and also surprised by the fact that Frank Caprice, as you mentioned, Mike, did not come out to get to that puck. Coulter looked over his shoulder to see if he was going to be onside, then slowed up, figuring that Caprice was already out. The puck lay loose in the zone, and lo and behold, Coulter had himself a clear-cut breakaway. He went in, put a little move on Caprice, but really did not have much time to think about it. Caprice made the stop, but an interesting play unfolding, a very surprising play in the Fredericton end. There you see the score, 8:34 remaining in this third period of play.
It'll be Curtin to take the draw against Ron Handy for Springfield as the face-off will develop in the Fredericton zone. Play is fought for. Stewart takes over at the point, dumping it through as the Indians. Tate tries to wheel it in front, but Curtin breaks it up and leads for Curry. Ahead for Huff, back to Curry, back for Huff, but that give and go is broken up with the defense and clear to center. Here's Thornberry now for Fredericton, clearing one in. Caudice back after it, and they rule no icing as the Indians could have played the puck. Now it's fought for as Curtin steals for Huff. Penalty coming up on the play. Indians and Express fight for it on the near side. It's jammed at, finally fought for, and let's see what that's all about.
Slashing's the call. Great defensive play by Bill Stewart. Mike Huff would have been in clear cut on Mike Sands. We're going to see it right here. The Indians, Ron Handy is going to get the call for slashing. You're going to see the play now break into the Springfield zone. Huff, number 8, coming into your screen right now. Look at this. He's all alone with the goaltender. Sands. Delayed penalty. Fawcett's arm already up in the air, but it was a desperation poke check, a sweep check from the stick of Bill Stewart, who continues to play outstanding for the Springfield Indians, getting that puck from a very dangerous area right in front of goaltender Mike Sands. And now with 7:59 remaining, third period, the Express go on the power play.
Okay, this the Fredericton third power play opportunity of the night. They're 0 for 2, of course, so far, failing to score this evening with 7:59 left, but a big power play chance here with time running out in the hockey game. Play underway, and Johannesson winds it all the way down, and the Express have to go back. So Handy for slashing at 12:01, and the Express take over in their own end of the ring. Now slowly to center is Tom Thornberry. Crosses the checkered line, then clears into the far corner for Huff. Huff fighting off with Johannesson. Puck rolls to the right point for Neil Bellin. Scoops one, caught by Sands, and then out of the net he's able to just hold on with a couple of Express players in vicinity.
Well, good play right there. Both Tony Curry and Elaine Lemieux were looking to see if that puck came down. Little flip-in shot from Neil Bellin. Mike Sands was there to glove it and then skated out of the area where the Fredericton players were. Looked to move the puck, but I think he really wanted to tie that up, but had to give the idea that he was going to move the puck so the referee would not have any inkling whatsoever to call him for delay of the game. The goaltender has to make the effort to move the puck and then freeze it unless he is pressured by an opponent. That time Sands freezing it to get the face-off. 1:31 remaining on the call to Handy.
Now it's fought for far side. Curry jams up with the Indians player as Bellin fights it for Curry, but intercepted there by Stewart, who shorthanded breaks the center. Here's Stewart wasting some time. Now we have a scrap back of the play, and Glenn Johannesson just nails Elaine Lemieux with 2 or 3 punches, and then Lemieux never fights back and gets up slowly on the play as Johannesson must have been incensed by something Lemieux, who sometimes can say some things, may have said something to spark Glenn Johannesson.
Well, Johannesson had to go with the uppercuts because Lemieux wears the face shield across his face to guard it from any injury attached to the helmet, so really nothing there but helmet and plastic that's hit as far as Johannesson, but I believe he got underneath that face guard of Lemieux, and he just wailed away. No contest from Lemieux's standpoint. He put up no fight whatsoever. Johannesson is in the box. The gate is open for Fredericton also, so it looks like they're going to get a penalty, most likely to Elaine Lemieux for instigating that. You mentioned his mouth might have been in full gear that time, Mike. Sometimes that'll really get a player incensed, and when you combine it with some stick work in this third period, Lemieux had a little run-in with Kenny Leiter prior to this one here with Johannesson. He got his stick up on that occasion and sometimes can get chippy in the opponent's end. Johannesson gets the call for Springfield. Lemieux now has four minutes on the board as far as he is concerned. I believe he's going to get a double minor for roughing. Well, we'll just have to wait and see with Johannesson in this regard. Should get a major for fighting. He was wailing away in this situation. there's no number on the Springfield side of the ledger, which would lend you to think, although now they put the minor up to Johannesson, a 5-minute major for fighting and a double minor for roughing for Lemieux, so it'll give Fredericton the 1-minute power play opportunity when the 4 minutes are up to Lemieux for his roughing call.
Okay, so that's the story there, but right now it's still a power play opportunity for the Express with another minute and 17 seconds remaining in Handy's slashing penalty. He went off at 12:01, so a 4-on-3 situation will develop here. A lot of ice time, or a lot of ice, open ice here for both clubs. So a 4-on-3 for the next minute and 17 seconds. Then the teams will be at even strength for about 2.5, 3 minutes, and then another minute power play for the Express.
Well, this gives Fredericton a good chance right now. I'm sure they're very happy with the fact it's a 4-on-3 situation. The open ice comes into play, and the Indians are going to have to be very conscious of that fact.
Okay, play goes back into the Fredericton zone, and a 4-on-3 with 7:08 remaining, and the Indians leading 1-0. But Thornberry out of his own zone is for McIntyre. Dropping it back to the point is the Express control. Bellin and Thornberry are the point men. Here is Thornberry at the point for Bellin. Bellin at that right point, closing through for Thornberry, top of the circle. Shoots one, deflecting the score, McIntyre. After it was deflected, McIntyre from a sharp angle beats Sands, and we're tied up at 1 on the power play. Dunk McIntyre.
The rookie Dunk McIntyre gets the goal, his 14th of the year, in the open ice. Very important here in the 4-on-3 situation. This is Neil Bellin. You're staring him right in the eye. He has the puck for Fredericton. He's going to move it over to Thornberry. Thornberry is going to take the shot. It's going to go right off, I believe, Chris Pryor's skate as he was jamming in front. And although referee Fawcett screens us out of seeing it, you see the tail end of it with Dunk McIntyre picking up the rebound. And with Sands out to greet the shot of Thornberry, he was out of position just because he was trying to get in the way of that shot of Thornberry. It's not a fault of Sands by no means. It's just a situation where the open ice came into play. McIntyre got the right bounce and just knocked it into the empty goal to tie it at 1 apiece.
Now play on the far side is Hauk. Now for Springfield, trying to make a play into the Fredericton zone. Knocks down an Express player, and the Indians work in front. Here is Tate trying to get for Hauk, but stolen away there, and the Express Bellin takes over. 6:27 left third period. The game is tied at 1. Each team at even strength for another 3 minutes, but then the Express will have a brief power play once again, as Tate on his own zone now speeds into the Fredericton end of the rink. Tries to work around Thornberry. Pulls up far corner. Checked by Thornberry, then works into the corner, but Thornberry stays with him. Kicks it for Hauk. Hauk takes a hit. Big jam up to the side into the corner, and finally Hauk tries to get the loose puck. He and McIntyre fight for it. It's centered, but right under the stick of a Fredericton player, and Curtin takes over on right wing. Here's Curtin for the Express, banking it into the Springfield zone, where Basson back after it for the try. Here is Bob Basson coming to center ice and barreling through into the Fredericton zone. Works around Dunbar. Spins back behind the net, centers in front for Levy. Oh! Caprice is a bouncing puck, and it deflects wide. Levy had a shot, Caprice made the save, and it trickled wide. Here's Stewart in his own end of the rink. Good chance for Springfield, as Levy now winds it up. Lead pass for Martin, but a 2-line offside call from inside the Indians' blue line to the Fredericton side of center. That scoring play for the Express. Dunk McIntyre's 14th from Tom Thornberry and Neil Bellin at 13-13 on the power play.
Well, we're going to see a replay right here. Gives us a chance, as you see the play working around the Springfield end. 5:18 remaining in this third period. Look at this chance by Craig Levy, coming in and doing everything he can, going for the top corner. Caprice, a big save, getting the glove hand on it. Then the rebound's going to come bouncing down. Basson is going to jam here along with Terry Martin. Martin getting there for one swipe at it, and then he was ridden off the play. 3:03 remaining, the penalty to Johannesson, 2:03 to Lemieux. So when that period of time is up for Lemieux, once again, Fredericton will have just for a minute, but it could be a costly minute. They will have the power play.
Now play taken by Alan Kerr. Here's Kerr, leaves it for Later. Later dumping it back for Martin. On a bouncing puck, tries to center, but the Express are able to clear one into the center ice area. Racing down the right side is David Bruce. Bruce and Pryor fight for the loose puck. Back to the point, Dunbar shooting it through. Pryor falls down, and the Indians clear to center. Here's Kerr on the attack. into the Fredericton zone. Steered off by Schliebener. Here's Leiter on the far side. Leiter for the Indians. Gives for Levy, and on goal. Shoots, scores! Craig Levy with a bullet-like slap shot. Beats Caprice, and with 4:38 remaining, the Indians have the lead at 2-1.
Boy, if this player isn't a welcome addition, just as Mark Habscheid, I don't know who is, because ever since coming down from the Minnesota North Stars, Craig Levy has been outstanding, and that's the word. He just had a great chance, but he makes no doubt about this one, burying that slap shot through a partial screen. A great shot by that man right there. Craig Levy, the former record, he is right now the record holder for most points by a defenseman in the American Hockey League. In 1980-81 with Nova Scotia with 82. A former Eddie Shore winner shows why with that blast right there. Continues his point production and gives the Indians the 2-1 lead.
Here's Neil Bellin in his own zone. Feeds it through on the left side for Mark Curtin. Now Levy in his own end of the rink leaves it for Bill Stewart with the Indians in the lead now at 2-1. Here is play in the center ice area, and Gary Lacey twists and turns into the Fredericton zone. Trying to barrel his way through, and back behind the net, gives for Habscheid. And then they end up falling on top of it. The scoring play, Levy's third of the season from Leiter and Kerr at 15-22.
Well, now the Indians are going to have to be conscious that Alain Lemieux is going to come out of the penalty box in 54 seconds. It'll give Fredericton a chance. Right now they have the puck in their own end, Fredericton does, but should they have it in the Springfield end, they could do some damage on the power play. Just 4:09 remaining, so defensively the Indians are going to have to be very conscious, especially the fact that Lemieux might be sprung on a breakaway coming out of that penalty box.
Okay, the Express take over, and out of their own zone is Curtin, but Stewart breaks that up, and then Curtin gets by Stewart into the corner. Levy shovels for Stewart, and Stewart for Springfield able to clear one into the neutral zone. Here is McIntyre on the far boards, checked off by Lacey. Indians are able to take control in the neutral zone, and Levy taps it for Bill Stewart as they play catch on defense with just 3:38 remaining. Here's Stewart in his own zone, takes control. Up the left side is the Indians. Levy trying to steer through. Kicked that, fought for, shot to the Fredericton line where Dan Poudrier takes over. Leads for Curry, has Huff speeding for the net. Now shoots it back behind the goal as Sands clears away. 2 seconds left in Lemieux's penalty. He's out of the penalty box, but we'll have a face-off in the Springfield zone with an even minute remaining in the Springfield penalty to Glenn Johannesson.
This is exactly, I'm sure, what the Express would want in this situation. Get the face-off in the Springfield, then they have a minute to work with, so some time. You look at Indians defenseman Chris Pryor, wears the C and wears it very proudly on his sweater. Chris Pryor does a leader, by no doubt, and along with Scott Housen, Terry Martin, and Bill Stewart, there is some leadership on the Springfield Indians club, which blends very nicely with the youth, and that's what Fred Creighton has been happy with of late. But right now, 3:15 remaining in this third period. Fredericton on the power play. Could be an exciting finish, and probably will, with the Indians on top 2-1.
Fredericton 1 for 3 with the man advantage so far. This their fourth, although a brief one, at 1 minute rather than the usual 2 here. With 3:15 remaining, 2-1, the Indians have the lead. Playing away as Leiter clears, but not out. Express try and center one, bouncing puck in the neutral zone, and Kortko takes over for the try. Here is Roger Kortko, who's paired with Neil Coulter up front to kill it off, and the Indians wind it all the way down. Now Tom Thornberry slowly motors up the center ice for Alain Lemieux, who dumps it through. Huff in a forecheck. Is for Curry on the far side. Tony Curry checked on the play and then taken away by Leiter, who's able to pick an opening and clear all the way down, and the Express have to go back.
How much time now? Just 19 seconds on the Johannesson penalty, so Fredericton's going to have to hurry to get a chance on the power play.
Here's Dunk McIntyre trying to scoot through, but the whole play whistled down offside at the Springfield blue line. Just 2:26 left. Springfield 2 and Fredericton 1.
Now the forwards doing a job there, killing off the power play, especially Roger Kortko. Very good when the man short, and used extensively that time with a minute on the penalty. Kortko did a couple of things. First of all, winning the draw in the Springfield zone, getting it away and getting possession to Springfield to start, which put a crux in things. Although Fredericton controlled the puck, they really didn't have any continuity going. And then at the blue line, Kortko made a couple of nice plays, keeping that puck outside the blue line. Does relentless work when a man short. Roger Kortko, a nifty penalty killer.
Okay, play back into the Springfield zone as the Indian. Stewart takes over and clears all the way down. That's going to relieve pressure. 3 seconds left in the penalty. As Johannesson is back on, the Indians have killed it off and now only have to kill off the remaining 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and they'll have win number 17 on the season. As Stewart taps to center ice and the Express back after it, and Poudrier in his own zone. Ahead to center ice, and here come the Express. A pass for McIntyre. His clearing pass intercepted by Handy as the Indians dump to center. Now Tidal taps it ahead for McIntyre. McIntyre closing through. Tries to center for Quinney, but it's broken up there at the Indians' defense. And Ron Handy at center. Lead pass on left wing. Terry Tate for Houp. Houp pulls up at the line. Trying to feed one through, but broken up by Tidal, who comes to center. Here's Scott Tidal trying to move through. Wrist shot blocked off, and Tate on left wing taps it to center and into the neutral zone. 1 minute and 25 seconds left in the hockey game. 2-1, the Indians have the lead as the Express move through. Quick pass for Bruce, but he's angled off by Pryor. Puck to the near side with 1 minute and 13 seconds remaining. Express try and make a play. They wheel one in front, but Stewart for Springfield gives for Kerr. Here's Alan Kerr to center for the Indians. Dumps one off the boards into the Express zone with less than a minute to go in the hockey game. Indians have a 1-goal lead as the play is fought for on the near boards and picked up by Lupul. Lupul shovels to his own defense and Bell into center ice. Scoops it high in the air. Netminder in the goal still for Fredericton despite the score at 2-1. Into center ice, here come the Indians. Martin closing through. Shoots one. Caprice the save. Martin was upended, but no penalty called as Fawcett watches impressively. However, the Indians do force a face-off in the Fredericton zone.
Very important fact, they do get the face-off in the zone. A lot of the fans feeling that should have been a penalty on the play. Terry Martin with a great break. Here you see him with the speed, and he's going into the zone, and Fawcett, the way the game is gone right now, you're really not going to see him whistle down a penalty unless really needed. There you see, in any other part of this hockey game, this would have been a trip on Neil Bellin right here. But with 26 seconds remaining right now, the waning portions of the game, and Fredericton down by 1, Fawcett could have called a penalty, but he elects to let them play at this point, and we now are going to have a timeout. You take a look at both linesmen, Morrissey and Calcasola, talking things over, and Andre Savard, I'm sure, although he's had a lot to say about Fawcett, breathes a sigh of relief that no penalty was called there.
No doubt about that. I'm sure Savard has got to be a little bit perturbed as far as his offense is concerned. Again, here in Springfield this evening, the Express scoring, if it stays like this, just 2 goals in those 2 games, counting last week's against the Indians.
Well, no offensive output that they've looked for. Of course, Alain Lemieux's been kept off the scoreboard. He has not figured in any of the scoring, and fellas like Curry and Curtin and Mike Huff, they've all been nullified here in Springfield thus far. 26 seconds remaining, so a big face-off here, and a player for Springfield very good at it to take the draw, Roger Kortko.
Kortko will take the draw against the veteran Curtin to the right of the Express goal, and Frank Caprice. 26 seconds left. The Indians in search of win number 17 on the season. Here the Express clearing one into the neutral zone. The netminder Caprice is still in there as the Indians take control with just 20 seconds left. Here are the Indians working through. Pass for Coulter and a goal. Shoots. Caprice the save. 10 seconds left. Here's Henry. Sharp angle shot. He scores! Dale Henry seals it up for the Indians with a sharp angle, short side shot to give the Indians a 3-1 lead.
Well, just 6 seconds remain, but the Indians continue to work. Neil Coulter in this play did a great job staying on side. Kortko had the puck, then Coulter stayed on side very easily. He could have been over the blue line, but trailed the play, came in for a chance, took the little slap shot there that Caprice stopped, but then the play continued to work its way around, and the Indians continued to skate in the Fredericton zone. Dale Henry right here working for it, coming in from his wing position, picking up the puck from Thornberry, and then one poke, another poke, and it's behind Caprice. The Indians on top 3-1.
Okay, play goes all the way down the ice, and the buzzer sounds, signaling the end of the hockey game. The Indians win it by a score of 3-1.
2 goals here in the third period for Springfield, 1 for Fredericton, but the Indians on the goal by Craig Levy. That was the big boost after McIntyre had scored on the power play. Looked like the Indians, who had the 1-goal lead throughout this game, were in for it as we headed down the wire. Levy put some inspiration just slightly over 4 minutes remaining with a big slap shot. Then the Indians continue to take the play to the Fredericton Express with the line of Kortko, Coulter, and Henry, who had performed well all night long doing the job, and the final goal by Dale Henry, the insurance marker. And the Indians have done what they've needed to do so far in this 3-game stretch this weekend, picking up 2 victories, one over Adirondack, and here tonight at home, a needed 2 points over Fredericton.
Okay, shots on goal in the final period, 11-5 Springfield. In the hockey game, the Indians outshoot the Express 29-21, and the Indians are now 17-13-3 on the season. And of course, this broadcast that you see will be prior to Saturday night's affair with the Hershey Bears, the second-place Southern Division club. Hope you enjoyed tonight's action. We'll be back with our post-game activities in just a moment. Again, the final, Springfield 3, Fredericton 1.
Every cancer begins with one cell and then multiplies. After years of fighting cancer, we can now identify or pinpoint cancerous cells and in many cases eliminate or destroy them. In fact, nearly 3 million Americans have beaten cancer. With your help, someday, we will learn the most effective way of all to stop cancer before it begins. Please support the American Cancer Society. The battle isn't over, but we are winning.
Welcome back, everyone. Mike Barrick with John Forslund. And the fans here in Springfield, just under 3,000, were treated to quite a show this evening.
The way it started, it didn't look like it. Some of the fans booing at the end of the first period, but then it worked itself out, and the play picked up in the second period. The Indians just scoring the goal, but then Fredericton made it extremely interesting. But the Indians showed a lot of intestinal fortitude here tonight by picking up the 3-1 victory and not giving up until the end when they could have just laid over and died in certain situations with Fredericton on the power play. They didn't do so. They know they felt the effects of last night's game. So did Fredericton, but a good effort. And here at home, 2 points where they needed to get it, and they did.
Continued sparkling play at home for the Indians. The Indians 9-2 in the last 11 contests at home and 6 of 7 here at the Springfield Civic Center. But John, the Indians took out early 1-0, not necessarily early, no scoring in the first period. Period 2 early on. Mark Habscheid scored, but that was the way it was for a long time.
The way the first period started, the play was slow and sluggish, but then picked up at the tail end of the first and carried over into the beginning of the second period. Right here, Greg Levy, who was, in my opinion, the star of this game here tonight, sets up Habscheid, who's calling for the puck right now. Fake slap shot and a beautiful pinpoint pass right on the stick of Habscheid, who bangs it home for his 3rd goal in 3 games as a member of the Springfield Indians. There you see it, just 15 seconds into the second period on the power play.
And that's the way it would go until the 3rd frame, with the Indians holding on to the 1-0 lead. But the Express would score the tying goal in the mid stages on the power play in period 2 and period 3. Check that.
They had a lot of open ice to work with, a 4-on-3 situation. And here you see Neil Bellin with the puck for Fredericton, and this is on the power play for the Express. And they had a lot of open ice, and that's what picked up this goal. Bellin's going to give it to Thornberry. Thornberry with the shot. Now, Sands was well out of his net to cut down the angle. The slap shot by Thornberry. Then the puck's going to graze off the skate of Indians defenseman Chris Pryor and go right over to Dunk McIntyre on the right wing. The rookie pokes home his 14th goal of the year. You're going to see him coming into your picture right now at 13-13 of the 3rd. A new hockey game at 1-1.
However, the Indians would benefit from 2 late goals, including this one, which turned out to be the game winner on Craig Levy's blast.
Well, Levy had a great scoring chance prior to this one, and then really asserts himself with a slap shot right here, coming into the zone, picking up the pass from Kenny Leiter. Leiter with the puck, has eyes in the back of his head on the backhand pass. The levy coming right through the slot area about 20 feet out. A blast that Caprice never saw. Third goal for Greg Levy at 15-22. That was the game winner.
And then the Indians would seal it up as Dale Henry, with some ferocious forechecking, would able to tip one home. At that point, the game was pretty much not in doubt anymore, as there was time, just a little bit left in the hockey game, but Henry would able to give the Indians the insurance goal.
Well, this line, Roger Corco, Neil Coulter, and Dale Henry, accentuates the word work right here. All three of them outstanding all night long. Coulter, a great job to stay on side in this play. He's going to come into your pitchers. He trailed Corco. His first shot is going to be stopped by Caprice, and then you're going to see Dale Henry come flying through and continue to work forechecking right here to pick up his 10th goal. And even though his first effort was stopped, it's going to be Henry on the rebound, banging it home. A lot of traffic and once again confusion in the Fredericton end. The first try is stopped, the second one is not. And there it is, Dale Henry makes it 3-1 in favor of the Indians.
Now the Indians, 17 wins on the season, 13 losses and 3 ties. This before Saturday night's showdown against the second place Hershey Bears. But nonetheless, John, no matter what the standings are right now, the Indians playing good hockey.
Very much so. The Indians continue to work hard and have a good nucleus right here in which to work with, and Fred Creighton has them working with the system and doing very well with it, so things are looking up for the Springfield Indians.
Indians now lead the season series against Fredericton 3-1 and have beaten the Express both times here at the Springfield Civic Center. Hope you enjoyed the action, and hope, John, to see the fans here on Friday night when the Indians take on Hershey, and also the San Diego Chicken will be in town.
Oh, great game this Friday night with the Chicken, and of course there's not too many seats left, so as this game is broadcast, get out and get your tickets on Tuesday morning because they're going very fast. Then Saturday night, another great game with Binghamton coming in on the tails of the Indians. Let's see the fans carry over to that night also. Big weekend ahead here at the Springfield Civic Center.
Okay, hope you enjoyed the action this evening with the Indians winning it by a score of 3-1. For John Forslund and our entire Continental Cablevision crew, I'm Mike Barrick saying so long tonight. We'll see you next week for another edition of Springfield Indians Hockey.
Hey, Fozzie, do you ever think about those things we take for granted?
You mean like fish hooks?
No, I mean stuff we can't live without, like clean water.
Kermit, if clean water is so important, then why do people waste it and pollute our rivers and streams?
I don't know. Maybe we just don't think about it. But you know what? We should. For some free tips on how you can use water wisely, write to Kermit, National Wildlife Federation, Washington, D.C., 20036.
Who are you talking to? You are about to see the most durable men and women athletes in the world, extending themselves to the absolute limits of their endurance in a quest for self-knowledge, for personal honor that only they can explain and only they can understand. This is the Ironman World Triathlon. I'm Bruce Dern, and I'm here on the Kailua Pier on the Big Island of Hawaii. As you can see and hear behind me, it's about to begin. These 600 men and women will go in the water, swim 2.4 miles, come out, take a shower, put on bike gear, climb on their bicycles, and ride 112 miles. Get off the bike, change into running gear, and run a marathon. Now, just so you get an idea of what that entails in terms of mileage, that's the equivalent of going from New York to Baltimore. In its first year, only 15 hardy souls trained for the Ironman triathlon. 13 finished. 15 more tried it the next year. 13 finished. Didn't look as if it was catching on, but it was. The next year, 108 entered, and the year after that, 305. Now there's nearly 600, and they've come from everywhere. Why? There's a search involved here, a search for what lies inside.
The reason I compete is because it's like if you took a class and you learned all this and then they never gave you the final exam, you really don't know whether you did well or not.
Here's Dave Scott, winner of the 1980 Ironman triathlon in record time of 9 hours and 24 minutes. A fitness consultant from Davis, California. Nice, friendly guy, normal as they come. Yeah. Except that in a week he swims 5,000 yards, bikes 380 miles, and runs 70 miles.
My commitment to training is not an obsession, I think, like some people would categorize it. It involves my entire day, but I don't feel as though I have to go through a certain ritual to get to a certain mental level to train. I know what I need to do. I try to plan it out fairly strategically and methodically, and even though I am doing it 5 to 8 hours a day, I don't feel as though I'm really obsessed with that, if you can understand that.
They're testing Kim Bouchong's stamina at California's El Camino College, measuring his energy fuel, his oxygen concentration, scientific things like that. The treadmill simulates a painful uphill climb, but Kim's only 24. He's a match for even these infernal machines. Bouchong, Scott, just kids, really. Okay. But not all of the triathletes are youngsters. Harry Dupree's 43 and president of an Oklahoma City bank. A guy like this has to squeeze his training in between foreclosures. At 39, Kay Moore finished the 50-mile mountain run over the Continental Divide. Now she's one of 50 women trying to be an Ironman. And you know, not every one of these women's been at it as long as Kay. Kathleen McCartney hadn't done anything more strenuous than swim in a pool until a year and a half ago. Then her boyfriend persuaded her to run with him. Within 4 months, she was running with him in marathons. 6 months ago, she took up biking. Now she's going to ride one at top speed for 112 miles.
The men that I've been training with are generally stronger than I am, so I'm always chasing them down, and I think that's helped me to pick up my speed and aggressiveness.
The Tinley brothers, Scott and Jeff, train together to relieve what even they confess can be the drudgery of a 6-hour workout. Scott, the older one, he's 25. He's married, works as an instructor by day at an aquatic center, and studies for his master's degree at night. He's done so many marathons, he's looking for new roads to run and ride on, and new waters to cross.
And everybody's done a marathon now, and now everybody's shooting for triathlons. It's the next step, I suppose. The Hawaiian triathlon being the biggest of the events. Doing it last year for the first time, doing halfway decent, and going back this year, I suppose, just to try and improve my time and to give it a good shot.
Little Jimmy Stokes, a wee man from Cornwall, Ontario, admits at age 63, "My aspirations far exceed my abilities," but he makes do. He runs marathons, runs up the side of mountains, and when no mountain's available, he runs up and down stairways. He parachutes, he skis cross country, and you know what he does to relax? He roller dances.
The business about aging is a sore point with me. People seem to think that because you get to a certain age, you should act in a certain manner. I never did it when I was young. I'm damned if I'm going to do it when I'm getting older.
The island of Hawaii, the big island of the chain. Nearly twice the size of the other Hawaiian islands combined. Its landscape joins dark volcanic rock with lush tropical vegetation. Geologically, it's the youngest of the islands. but the first to be inhabited by Polynesian adventurers from the south. We arrive here from Honolulu by Hawaiian Air and drive the short distance to triathlon headquarters at the magnificent Kona Surf Hotel, perched on black cliffs above the thundering Pacific. The triathlon course traces some 60 miles of the rugged Kailua-Kona shoreline. The swimmers will plunge into the waters of Kailua Bay, swim out to the anchored sailing vessel, Keana, go around her and head back to the pier. That's a total distance 2.4 miles. You know, there's really only one way to appreciate what these athletes will endure, and that's to give the 3 events a try. I'm not going to do the whole course, but I am going to try to do just enough of it to get a feel for it. Well, I don't feel so bad. Water's about 70 degrees, no rough surf, no real undertows, no swells. Of course, there's not 600 and some odd contestants around me yet, all going in the water at the same time like a bunch of lemmings. Somebody could get kicked in the goggles or something. You never know. I'm here by myself, and it's actually delightful. From the pier, the bikers pedal through town and head north along the Queen Ka'ahumanu Highway to the coastal village of Hawaii. Then it's back again on Alihi Drive to the finish of the Kona Surf. Well, I gotta tell you, it's starting to get to me a little bit. And I've only done, what, 8 miles? Means I got about 104 to go on the bike. My legs aren't doing too bad. But on the bike, I'll tell you something, it's the back of your neck and your shoulders that really get stiff. I'm gonna try and pick it up now and see how hard I can really go on the bike. See if I could ever really be a cyclist. The runners start at the Kona Surf and follow the coastline to the turnaround near the Kahola Airport. Then it's back to where it all started, to the finish line at the pier, if they're lucky. From here on in, it really gets grim. For 99% of the people still left at this point, they're possessed with one thing, finishing. They're saying to themselves, if I can be standing at the finish, I've won. And they're right. But for the gifted few, for our 1% that are still competing, that are still racing, they're more than standing. They're wondering, can I catch that guy up there? What about the guys behind me? Are they gonna get me? Are they coming on me? Are they picking up on me? Can I get him? Because let me tell you something. This is it. The last hour of this triathlon, on the pavement at 110 degrees, that's when we're gonna find out who the hell the Ironman really is. Sun's up. You're waiting for the gun. The Budweiser Light Ironman Triathlon is about to start. It's a self-seeding race. The good swimmers are nearest the water. And if they weren't, they'd just crawl right over the slower ones, making a mess anyway. Once you're in the water, the problem is knowing where you're going, believe me. If you wander off course, you might end up swimming 3 miles instead of just 2.4. In open sea, you just can't put your head down and go. You've got to be looking ahead. The smarter swimmers, they play a little follow the leader on the way there. The leader is clearly W.F. McCarthy right now. He's 27. He's a steel contractor from Sacramento, California. A steel contractor who obviously spends a little time at the beach. So at the halfway point with 1.2 miles to go, McCarthy's leading almost 600 other swimmers. With W.F. McCarthy still in first place, the leaders head for the pier and the finish of the swimmers' portion of the Ironman Triathlon on the Big Island of Hawaii. Following McCarthy, there's a group of 4, Patrick Bruce, Kim Bouchon, Bill Leach, and Dave Scott. You notice how they're going flat out, keeping on line? They'll finish the race in about an hour, leaving the rest of the pack behind. There will be others who will be in the water 2, maybe even 3 hours. These front runners are heading for the largest bike parking lot in the world today. There's something else they'll need too, fuel. ERG, water, bananas, oranges. food to keep them going on the bike. Now, McCarthy's way out front now. You notice how he lifts his head high up in the water to keep himself on line? He's the navigator for that group of 4. Involuntarily, he's breaking water for them. They're using him. Scott